Hey, PS, great. The last digit of your like on this video is someone from the meme background, and the last digit of your subscription to my channel will show your subject from the meme background. So come down right now, subscribe and like. Look at the screen, pay attention to the last digit of your like and your subscription. And write someone from chalk background in the comments. It's simple if your like is the 8th, and the last digit of the subscription is number 5 here and a lemon with a cactus. Show your imagination and enjoy your viewing. And great, dear friends, you're on the Melonfonk channel. In this video, you and I will talk about new cars or possible transportation with chalk background. But before the start of the video, as always, I want to say a huge thank you to these guys for getting into my videos, and if you want to get into my next video and you just need to subscribe to the channel, put a like, write your top comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the cart. The link is as always in the description. In general, I will not take your time and enjoy your viewing. So friends, inspired by my own video, I decided, why not make a transport for my own maps, which I came up with in the last video. So, let's start in order and we won't rant for a long time, and yet right now I'll show you what kind of transport I came up with for each card. To be honest, it would be nice if this particular transport was added to the game, because I think that this particular transport is ideally suited to our chalk background and fits the concepts of my map well too. So, the first map we have is the Apocalypse and the APC. It's just that we will also have a tank in this video, so don't worry, there must be such a banal thing. But the APC is such a thing that does not immediately come to everyone's mind, and to be honest, it fits quite coolly, in principle, into the theme of the chalk playground. In fact, physics or it will repeat like a Jeep, because in fact it is the same self-propelled movement as a Jeep, with a larger wheelbase and greater armor, of course. And of course there will be a cannon on this APC. It will not be of such a huge caliber as on a tank, but it will still have some damage, something like a minigun instead of a simple ordinary barrel. And that's exactly what it looks like. As for me, in principle, such a beautiful gray color. It fits coolly into the theme of the apocalypse, which in principle resembles Chernobyl in some way. How do you like it? Write in the comments. But how very funny it all looks to me. And let's move on to the next map. And the next card is a Vismore and a passenger car. To be honest, I thought for a long time that it was appropriate for Vismore, because this is the 9th planet according to my own concept, and for some reason I added a car to myself. It's not very logical and doesn't fit much into the concept, but I liked this car so much that I wanted to add it here. That is, in principle, if you look at the color scheme, it basically fits well. In some ways it looks like a Lada, a penny, and even in some ways it looks like a Fiat, which is exactly what Luigi is from Lightning McQueen. Only that one is yellow, and this one is gray. In general, this is also an interesting concept for us, such an interesting concept. But Vismore, of course, he is not very suitable for the story arc. But because it's so beautiful, I decided to add it to this particular map. And look at all the same how it looks. As you write in the comments and of course the best map and improve the transport rate from 1 to 10 and choose the best for yourself. It would be great if you described it completely and gave each card your own rating. And let's move on to the next map. And the next map and the next car we have is called the City Map 2048 or the City 2048 if in Russian. And the DeLorean car. To be honest, I took the drawing of this car from the internet and reworked it a little. Naturally, if I want, I can add it as a mod, since it's not that difficult to do and it won't be any problems for me, in fact it's a problem. Well, of course, you will need to work a little on hitboxes. I added Gloria for a reason. According to my concept, the city of 2048 is a city from the future that has suffered some kind of crash. If you look at the background, we can see new modern factories that have long been dilapidated and just stand like ruins. And it seems to me that DeLorean from the movie Back to the Future, in my opinion. Or yes, in my opinion, Back to the Future is called this movie. He's old already. I watched it a long time ago, when I was very young still, and there was this DeLorean machine, with the help of which they were going to this future. And to be honest, that's exactly why I added this car to this particular map. Since Melon, according to my storyline, moves with the help of this machine to this map. Agree, it would be fun. To enter this map with this background, you need to park the car, press some button there and you move to this map. It's just interesting and it would be fun enough to see it in the form of an Easter egg. And let's not dwell on this DeLorean for a long time and move on to the motorcycle, which we have on the map of the Night City. I put the motorcycle here for a reason. It fits very well under the concept of a night city and, in principle, under some color scheme and according to the story arc, it looks good in principle. There are some concerts around us, that is, if you look at the background of this map, we can see little people who are watching some concert. And we often have concerts in the form of some rockers. That is, rockers often give us cool concerts. To be honest, it reminds me of exactly that. Picture me a rock concert. Well, where rockers are, there are bikers, so this is where I wanted to put this cool bike. In general, I tried to do everything so that the bike was as less saturated as possible. That is, in principle, the whole theme is chalk background and the color scheme is so gray, unsaturated. That is, everything should be very, let's say, and in a strict design and style. That's why I decided to add a motorcycle to this night map. And let's not get hung up on a motorcycle in a night city for a long time either, and already look at the next map called Autumn. And I decided to add a tank for Autumn, because Autumn is some kind of camouflage season for me. It is the tank that I associate with camouflage, and some such associative moves occurred when I was looking at the Autumn map. For a long time I wanted to add something else, but for some reason I wanted to add a tank. And it looks like a German tank of some kind. I don't really understand much. I just made it, that's all. He's so pretty here. In principle, it is also not particularly saturated and, in principle, fits the theme of the chalk playground. Unfortunately, if you make a mod, it will be difficult to implement wheels and tracks, simply because I do not know how to do it. I just understand how to implement wheels on fashion, but tracks for me are still a complex dark forest that will need to be dealt with. Therefore, I have never added tanks to the cute playground, just because I don't understand how to do it yet. And let's move on to the next map and the next transport. And the next map we have is the canyon. And of course, to the canyons, I immediately associatively somehow have a series of flashbacks in the Afterburner. Remember in the Afterburner, in some part it all started with how Dominic Torita Vin Throttle chased the train. That's exactly the story. I immediately came across a canyon because where the desert is, there are canyons. I don't know why I have such associative series. Well, where there are canyons and deserts, there is the Afterburner and the train, respectively. To be honest, I drew the train very so-so. I also drew such rails for myself. And to be honest, I just didn't manage to do this job well, but still, as for me, it turned out pretty well. And write in the comments, maybe I'm just very critical of myself, but it seems to me that I probably cheated a little. Write in the comments how much you like this particular transport and this particular map of the chalk playground according to my concept. Well, the last card for today is Winter from the last video. Well, in Winter, respectively, I am immediately associated with a sleigh and of course, a snowmobile. And so I drew a cool snowmobile. I decided to draw it in the form of a police snowmobile. Look how cool it turned out to be, and really as if you can immediately put a policeman there and you can roll away on a long journey. In principle, a pretty good snowmobile, and as for me, it just fits perfectly on this map. Although as for me, this map does not really fit into the concept, because it is very bright. It's very bright, which, to be honest, is not very good for the meme playground, because usually everything is gray with them. Well, accordingly, our snowmobile turned out to be not bright and more so saturated, which, as for me, is also not very suitable for the meme playground, simply because it does not fit the color scheme very well. But in principle, if you look like that, do not pay attention to the background meme, then in principle a good picture, a good snowmobile and a good winter. What do you think about it? Write in the comments. Well, evaluate all my cards and, of course, evaluate my efforts in the comments. Write down what you liked the most and what you liked the least. And this is where my video comes to an end. Thank you all for watching, good luck to everyone, bye to everyone. And I remember, my friend, as always, I'll see you one of these days.